Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sense of Humor podcast. We are where we talk anything pop culture, anything that interests us. We're your hosts, Tyler or Multimite, and Travis or Phantom Voyager.
Hello, everybody.
Almost messed that that intro up, but here we are. Um, yeah, I don't really have a grand intro or anything, so uh, small talk.
Yeah,
Uh, got anything exciting or new or pop culture newsworthy, whatever floats your boat today?
exciting or new? Well, being an adult sucks. That's new. Um,
that
other
that
than the,
hasn't been new for me, to be honest. That's been me for like the past 7 years.
I mean, like
Literally out
I've
of
been an adult.
graduation.
Yeah, I've been an adult, but like having to do taxes suck. Like usually I pay people to do my taxes, or I'll have family members do my taxes. But like I was like, I want to do it myself. I want to, be different. I want to do it myself, and I did, and it didn't go that well. But anyways, besides that, um, just basically, still packing, getting a lot of stuff packed up, selling things, reorganizing the apartment. We actually went through the pantry, got rid of and donated a bunch of food and stuff that we won't be eating, or that we know you can't finish or whatever, and we know some people that are in need, so we helped them out. Um, Packed up all of the utensils. We're down to just plastic silverware and plates and cups because we're not going to be up here for too much longer. Um, we might move the bed from the living room or from the bedroom into the living room so we can use the bedroom as a proper like storage room for the temporary time being, so it doesn't feel so cluttered out here. Um, what else? Oh, I've been streaming a lot more of well, not really a lot more. I kind of just started it up again. But Batman. I want to start streaming more Batman again. I might do that after this stream later tonight. Um, just to get my mind off some things and just play some Batman or something like that. Other than that, I don't know. Just work and yeah. Oh, I found out. So we switched over to a whole new like system with my job. And it
Oh,
was, yeah, so we switched over to a whole new system, and they basically, um, it's like a whole new app, whole new like pay system and everything. And we went from like using papers to not using paper and using like online ADP or whatever app. And it's like a company's website. And so like we have to take a picture of the car, scroll down, click on the green, yellow, or red dots based off of damage or anything wrong with the car, and everything is on there like maintenance, brakes, tires. So you have to check off everything, take pictures of everything. Um, but apparently, because the system's so new, but like still, I mean, they. I've been told by one of my managers that I'm up 20% higher than everybody else in the shop
sorry,
based.
1 second. You keep talking though, cause I gotta go grab the food that I talked
Oh,
about earlier.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm up 20% higher than everybody in the shop based off of just like recommendations and stuff in on the app and just using the app and being persistent with it. Because like if you get it above a certain percent, you get like a $500 like bonus. So I'm hoping I receive a bonus of that amount because it's going to be needed because I need to pay my taxes. Apparently, I owe a lot. So that would be helpful in that case, but it also help because I guess I can pay that tax payment off in monthly immigrants or anyways segments. Um, so that should be helpful there. I might use that money to help move down if I get that extra 500. If not, then I don't. Whatever, that's fine. Um, yeah, I mean, really, other than just the small little things, my truck payment's almost paid off. I don't got too much longer left on that, a few more months. Oh, I'm sorry. I just ate dinner. I already ate my dinner. I cooked a hamburger helper for dinner, and so now I'm all got that Thanksgiving vibe going where you eat something and your body wants to get tired. I'm not tired, but my body's like, you're tired. Doesn't help that it's also really cold in here. We don't, or we have heaters, but the floor heaters don't pump out enough heat. They're really, really, really low, and we have no access to turning it up because that's the landlord that can only do that. So we're all sitting here in the living room, double bundled up with blankets. I'm sitting on a camping chair. My butt's freezing cold because of the wind. I can literally feel a wind draft under my chair because it's so cold in here. Doors are closed and windows are closed, so I don't know why it's so breezy up in here, but it's very breezy. Um, but no, I've been playing a lot more of Batman, and I want to get more back into that. So,
Sorry, I'm back.
no, you're good.
For clarification, people, I was making dinner before we started this. That's why I had to step away for a second. But yeah, definitely go check out his Batman series though. Like, I caught a little bit of it, not the Batman segment, but like of your stream, and you were telling me you were streaming Batman, so I was like, oh, that's sick. It makes me wanna at some point do a story game again because it's been a long time since I've done that. But
I'd recommend you do a story game. I think it'd be cool to watch.
I was gonna say because so for people who don't know, our friend group is kind of spread out across pretty much the entire states. Like all of us are, well, not all of us, but most of us are in different states right now. So some of us have different time zones. So we're not always able to play like me and Travis occasionally do. Like if I have a Friday off, that's lucky for both of us because I can play because his days off are always Fridays. Mine are just random, so that's always a good day or a good week is when we both have Friday off. Um, but yeah, I mean, for people who probably haven't already picked up on that. But yeah, any other news in terms of small talk
Small
or anything?
talk. Not really. I mean, obviously tomorrow's Super Bowl, which means we get to see a Spider-Man trailer, which I'm super excited to see. So, I mean, that's really the only thing I care about the Super Bowl anyway. So, like, I probably if I miss it, then it'll be on YouTube within an hour. So, like, I'll still see it. So,
So that brings me to my pop culture news. I have good and bad news.
oh goodness.
Bad news is we're not getting a Spider-Man trailer this Super Bowl.
What? I thought we were supposed to.
I thought so too, but they just revealed all the companies that are revealing certain movies, and Sony did not dip their hands into the Super Bowl this year, unfortunately.
My gosh, what are they doing? That would have been a
I
perfect chance.
yeah, and yeah, we're not getting a Doomsday trailer either.
Okay, you know what? That's just so messed up.
I know, like
I'm not even gonna wake up tomorrow. I'm just gonna sleep in all day.
I honestly thought of doing the same thing. I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna touch the Super Bowl this year because, like, for us, like pop culture guys, like I don't mind sports. In fact, like at one point in my life, I did want to play football. I think I was just rather small for that sort of thing, but um, yeah, well, for us, it's really just about the pop culture stuff, like the nerdy, like new trailers and stuff, and that's what they get people that want to see the Super Bowl or that don't really watch it for sports, but get other demographics to watch the Super Bowl. But yeah, the fact that they aren't doing either of those is actually insane. I don't know if DC's doing anything or not. I'm assuming not because they recently just did that whole Supergirl trailer showing off Jason Momoa as Lobo, which is really
Mm-hmm.
sick. He fits the role way better as Lobo than Aquaman, so really happy for the guy. And honestly, he just looks super sick the way they designed him. So, um,
Oh yeah.
but the good news is, from a good source, for people who want to look at his actual video, I'm just kind of relaying information that I've already heard from this guy that he heard from another guy that he trusts, basically. So this guy is named 3C Films. He's on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked him out already, you should, because that's where I get a lot of my pop culture news in terms of stuff like that. In fact, he's the one that actually gave me the information. Not personally, obviously. I watched his video. But he relayed that, or I'm going to relay what he said. Anyway, he's the reason I know about why we're not getting those Super Bowl trailers.
Mm.
So he has a guy who gets to watch trailers early, and this guy is reliable enough to have given 3C Films good information like the Superman trailer and the um, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. He got both of them dead on, like accurate. The only
Yeah.
unfortunate news is every time he gets a synopsis for the trailer from that guy, the actual trailer doesn't drop for like another month or so. Or at least that's what he said.
Mm.
But I can kind of relay some things. I'm not going to do the full rundown of the trailer, just some like cool things that I found about the trailer. But basically, one of them being that Spider-Man might mutate in this film. And what I mean by
Mutate.
that is, so in the comics, there's a run that shows he's dying, or like, he thinks he is. And by the end of the comic, he's in this web cocoon and is basically reborn. And he now embraces more of a mystical side to his powers instead of straight up just science. And that grants him the ability of organic web fluid. So kind of like what Tobey Maguire has. So like he doesn't need web shooters, it just comes out of his wrists.
Mm.
Which could be kind of cool. Because, I mean, I love that Tom Holland had the web shooters. Same with Andrew Garfield. I like the web shooter Spider-Man better because it's just more fun to think that he, like, it's basically his weapon. He has to reload it. He makes his own ammo. Like, it's a fun little tool that he designed. That's what makes it so cool.
Yeah.
But with organic web fluid, that means he could probably ditch the silver web shooters on his suit that he has currently, making his suit a lot more comic accurate, which would be super dope. Because the suit's already amazing. I think it's way better than, like, in terms of comic accuracy, like, I still think Tobey's is up there for me. Like, I love Tobey Maguire's suit. But
Mm.
in terms of comic accuracy, Tom Holland's latest suit is just so good. I freaking love that suit. I, again, just wish it didn't have the silver clunky web shooters, but and then apparently the trailer is supposed to open with him kind of fighting Punisher because, they're obviously going to disagree with their methods on handling crime and everything. And it kind of
Yeah.
shows that. It also showcased two cool villains, one of them being Tombstone, played by Marvin Jones the Third, I think was his name. But basically, he voiced the Tombstone in the Spider-Verse film, the animated one with Miles Morales, which I thought was kind of cool.
Mm.
So now he's playing the live action version too, which is super sick. and then it showcased Scorpion, and the guy that I watch was asking the guy that watched the trailer, what did the suit look like? And he basically sent two images, which is a comic accurate Scorpion and then the Scorpion from the Spider-Man Insomniac game. He said it's a combo of those two suits, which honestly sounds
Mm.
perfect. So it's going to look very techy, but at the same time look like the comic book counterpart. And I'm like, perfect, perfect. Like hearing that, I'm already down for it. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see all these villains and stuff. There's a bunch of other details, but those are the ones that I would say is the most interesting. There's a bunch of like MJ stuff I'm not going to bring up because personally I don't like what they're going to do in that direction, but to each their own. Um, but I think that's enough.
I
Oh,
got
you have another
one
thing?
last thing. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was on Spotify before I went to the shower, but when I got home, and there was a I didn't know this was a podcast or not a podcast, an audiobook. I thought this was just like a playlist of music from Spider-Man, and it's called Marvel Spider-Man's Hostile Takeover, and it's a whole 9 hour audiobook.
That sounds
I
kind of
just
cool.
It is pretty cool. I just started it. It's like there, it seems to me. I don't know really everything about Spider-Man like you do, but like they're reading it like it's kind of like a comic book. Like it'll like say like, oh, you know, like he jumped from the floor to the ceiling, and it gets all in like details of like everything he's doing, and it'll like read his like talk about his thoughts, and it sounds like I got hooked, dude. I got hooked just off 10 minutes of it, but like it sounds like super interesting because it's like I don't know. It literally feels like it's like a comic book being read to me, and it sounds really interesting.
That does sound pretty cool, and I might have to give it a look. But yeah, that's pretty sick. I've actually been rereading, or not rereading, but I've been like continuing to read the Spider-Man comics off the Marvel Unlimited app because as much as I would love to be a millionaire who can afford, first issues of old comics, I can't and I'm not, but maybe one day I'll be a collector.
Hmm.
Um But yeah, no, I've just been reading all of them. I got to his first encounter with Mysterio, which was actually a fun read. And now I'm reading his first encounter with Green Goblin, which I'm really excited for because, like, to see the beginning. Like, fun fact, I didn't know this till today. Green Goblin did not originally have a glider. He had
Oh, hmm.
a
I thought he had a glider.
mechanical. Yeah, no, he had a mechanical broomstick, like a
A
witch's
broom?
broom. Yeah, it doesn't look like one. It kind of looks like a very mechanical, like witch's broom, basically. But like he calls it his broomstick.
Huh.
I mean, obviously that's like the early '60s for you, or I guess late '60s. But yeah, that's I thought that was kind of funny, but at the same time, I guess it kind of makes sense with his more fantasy like theme he has, like a goblin. Like, that's very fantasy of him.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, no, I thought that was kind of funny. Um, but this topic, because originally, like I usually do, I don't usually have a topic always on hand like I used to. Um, But today I was thinking about it on my way to work this morning, actually. I was like, man, like, what did I miss last week? Like, what should have I done? Like, etc., etc., etc. But then it hit me. There was a piece of small talk that I missed last week, and I actually remember telling you about it because it was like right after the stream ended. Me and my brother and one of his friends all went and saw Markiplier's new film, Iron Lung,
Mm.
which is based off of a game that he played. And I thought about that and I'm like, you know what? That would be a really cool topic. Is just straight up like Markiplier's Iron Lung. Like I'm really excited that he got to like get that far. Like to watch a YouTuber of all things get that far now. Like with their creativity that they're able to put it on the big screen is just insane to me. Like I find it so fascinating and super cool. And I'm excited to talk about it. I won't give any spoilers obviously cuz I don't think you've seen it, right, Travis?
No, I want to, but I don't know if I can see it in theaters because I don't know if it's gonna still be there by the time I get a chance to.
Oh, that's right cuz yeah, I forgot it's on kind of like a limited thing.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you'll get your chance and if not, I'm sure he won't make it super expensive when it comes to like buying it digitally or whatnot. Um,
Nah, I don't think so.
but for a first time, or I guess not really first time if you include his like a date with Markiplier or who killed Markiplier like films on
Oh,
YouTube.
those. Yeah, I like those. Those are fun.
Yeah. So unless you don't count those, but I guess I should say for a first big time like a big screen film, he did an amazing job. Like he directed, acted, and co-wrote the whole film, which is insane. But not to mention, like again, like he did such a good job that for people, I'm trying to remember his name. He plays, I believe his character's name is Alex in Evil Dead or something. Like, oh, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Spider-Man films, good friends with Sam Raimi.
I think the first name is Alex. I don't know the last name though.
Let me look it up real quick. Um, but he basically tweeted saying he loved the film, which is crazy because he's like the OG indie horror film actor. Evil Dead actor. Bruce Campbell. So Bruce
Mm.
Campbell tweeted about Markiplier's film saying he loved it, which I thought was super cool. I mean, again, I obviously grew up with Bruce Campbell in a much different light than probably a lot of like horror fans, like actual horror fans did. But yeah, he tweeted about that. I thought that was cool. And I also saw his movie was number 1 in America like for
Did
like
you
a
see how much it made?
no, how much did it make?
It made like $9 million
Oh my gosh. And that's
with
like
within like the first like I think it was within the first like weekend of it just being out by itself.
that's super cool. And he even said that he was going to give a big bonus to the crew because of that. That's super cool. Mark's
Oh
just
yeah.
like a straight up like down to earth cool dude. Like he may be like famous and everything, but like he's got like a heart of gold. He's like Keanu
Oh,
Reeves.
oh God, yeah. Dude's absolutely amazing. Like he's so kind, he's so sweet. He's just I'm not flirting with this man, but like if the chance came up, I probably would. But he's a really cool guy. I mean, he's just awesome. I just kind
Yeah.
of like every time like I feel down or like or whatever, I like think of when he talks about like the video he made. It's a short little video, but he's like the golden rule video, and he's just talking about it.
Oh, about respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
love that
just like,
video.
yeah, it was so wholesome and sweet. I'm just like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Sorry, one second.
No, no, you're fine.
All right. But yeah, so the topic wasn't just to, glaze Markiplier, obviously. It wasn't
Oh,
without flaws, and he even said it. And I'm not gonna dig into those either. What I do want to dig into, though, is the fact that he did that. And he said it's not going to be his last. So he plans on making other films, and that's what we're going to discuss is what films do you think he should make, or what horror slash indie games do you think we should see next? It doesn't even necessarily have to be from him, but there are so many good small indie games out there. Even big ones like could be interesting too, but a lot of the big ones are typically based off of movies and books already. So like it's the ones where like it's a unique, and maybe not even just unique, but like a parody of other things that people might have grown up with that are just so interesting in
Yeah.
that way. So,
Okay.
um but I kind of have an idea, and you know this one. So I've been rewatching a couple of his series lately, Mark, I mean, and a lot of them are horror multiplayer games because as much as I love Markiplier being mostly by himself in that film, I would love to see him with other actors and actresses for a long extended time. But for some of his next films, and maybe even just for other game creators who might want to, follow in the creator of Iron Lung's footsteps and get someone to do their movie for them. And who knows, maybe other games that like Mark have played, maybe the creators will be like, "Hey, I saw you did such a good job with Iron Lung. Come do our game as a movie next." And like maybe they'll even invest a budget in for him so that way he could do something like that, which would be super cool. Like um but the one that I was just about to talk about, because I've been rewatching his gameplay of it, is Phasmophobia.
Hmm.
Now,
Okay.
Phasmophobia is technically already being made, actually. Like, the movie is already being made right now.
Oh.
But it's made by Blumhouse, which honestly I'm
Oh.
okay with
Good.
because
That's a solid company.
I was gonna say the ones that made the Five Nights at Freddy's movies that are making what was it? Was it Scream? I don't think they did Scream, did they?
Hmm.
Maybe they did, but
Maybe.
but yeah. So like they're like the small indie, or not indie, but like the company known for doing good horror films on small budgets, basically. So obviously with Phasmophobia, I think that works well. A lot of people were saying that's basically just paranormal activities or whatever that like mockumentary was, like the one where it was like not lost or found footage, but like the one of like
Oh,
the
well,
wife and
like Blair Witch, like a Blair Witch
yeah.
type deal.
Well, Blair Witch is the lost or the is it found footage? Lost foot? It's whatever that is, but like I think it's more so along the lines of like is it called Paranormal Activities, the one where like the wife and the husband like record themselves while they sleep and they quote unquote see like ghosts or whatever.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are alluding to Phasmophobia being. I was thinking more along the lines of like rated R Ghostbusters, but they're not fighting the ghosts, they're running from the ghosts. Because that could be
Mm.
interesting. And honestly,
That
I
would
would
be
be
pretty
okay
solid.
if Mark was at least a what's the word? Like he's basically hired to help with it. I think it would be a good idea, especially with his exempt knowledge of horror games and stuff. Like I think that'd be perfect and right up his alley. But that's my first suggestion. What do you think?
Um, have you seen his series that he did with Bob and Wade, where they're surviving in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of it. It's like like something. I have to pull it up. Um,
Isn't it just called The Forest, or am I wrong
I
about
think
that?
it is. No, I think you're right. I think it is called the Force. I just want to check. But like, I don't know. I really like that, and I feel like that would be a cool like type movie. It's something that he can do several different type of movies off of if he wanted to, but at the same time, I feel like it's also so long that it is probably will be hard for him to do. But yeah, it's called The Forest. So like,
Hello? His batteries must have died on.
yeah, I just feel like yeah, my bad, my controller disconnected.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, I just feel like I don't know. I really think it would be interesting to see that because like it's an interesting game. I like it. I like it whenever because he just started playing it again, but just by himself.
Oh, did
Because
he?
like, yeah, because Bob and Wade were kind of being Bob and Wade. Um,
I
so.
mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind him a one like that. I did watch a little bit. I don't think I ever finished that series of his, but I'll add on to that. This is another single player one though. So kind of contradicts what I just said was like with the multiplayer, but I think this one's pretty important is SCP. Did you ever watch him play that? The SCP Foundation?
Not that I can remember. I think I'd have to see like a picture of it or something.
Okay, so and I definitely recommend you go and watch his series because it's really interesting. But also, yeah, it like fits. It almost matches the feel of Iron Lung, where like you're by yourself pretty much, but like with SCP, it'd be a bigger set, a lot more exploration for the main character, like and a lot more threats as well. So for people who don't know what SCP is, I would argue I don't know, would it have been the first creepypasta? Probably not the first creepypasta because Slenderman was out for a long time. And then
Mm.
came like characters like Jeff the Killer, Eyeless Jack, etc. But yeah, no. So SCP is basically a foundation that hides creatures and monsters from the outside world, and they like experiment on them or something. Like they document stuff on them. Like one of them is called the Plague Doctor, and he's like he believes he like the whole world is under like a certain disease or something, when really it's just people living day to day life. So he goes around giving people the quote unquote cure, which causes them to be in like a zombie like state, which is kind of interesting. But yeah,
That
that
sounds actually pretty interesting.
yeah. There's also objects that are like kind of paranormal like it. But basically the premise is kind I think same premise as Iron Lung. It's a prisoner that's kind of sent in there. I don't know if it's to be the monster's food or whatever, or if it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, people who have more extent SCP knowledge would probably know what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff in it. And again, I definitely recommend anyone who hasn't watched it yet go check it out because it's such an interesting and fun series. And I feel like a lot of people would agree. It would make a good movie concept. Heck, put Markiplier in FNAF 3 already. Give him his cameo, give him his, you
I ought to
know.
say, dude needs to be in it because that was my next suggestion was for him to be in a Phasmophobia movie.
Did I say
I mean, because like I
Phasmophobia?
mean that or not Phasmophobia, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I mean, yeah, technically it's not like a small game by any means, but like I feel like it's something I want to see him in because like I really didn't know anything about Phasmophobia or not. So, geez, I don't know why I keep saying that. Five Nights at Freddy's until I started talking to you and Markiplier. So like it's I don't know like it's every time I see it I'm like oh Markiplier needs to be here. Markiplier needs to be here. Markiplier needs to be here. Like it's just I don't know. It's just something I see him being in
Yeah,
because it's
for
like
real.
his thing.
I mean, for a long time, he was rumored to play Mike Schmidt at one point. Like, he was rumored to be the security guard. I think that might have been the original plan, and he just isn't allowed to say so or something. But yeah, no, like from what I understand, he was originally going to be Mike Schmidt. But then I'm assuming some like filming um, or like some scheduling conflicts or whatever, like where he couldn't be there when they needed him to be or something. But that's another point I wanted to bring up too is Scott Cawthon posted that he went and saw the movie, which I thought was kind of cool. And who people who don't know who Scott Cawthon is, he's the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. So I think that's pretty cool. Like Mark is getting like the recognition he deserves for sure after just like years of making us laugh, making us cry, inspiring us. Like he's definitely been a huge inspiration in my life on like how I want to
Hmm.
be towards people and how I want to be as a content creator in certain aspects, but like just him in general just being an overall swell dude. But like again, um I do want to talk about how um he might not be doing, other franchises. Like maybe he'll do his own. So, and obviously these are just suggestions, but um and I guess in a way it could just be like what indie horror games do we want to see turned into films? Cuz I have a few, and yes, a lot of them Mark has played, and maybe that's why I think like they would be fun for him to work on because he has a connection to them in a way, but so does a lot of other content creators. I just don't think a lot of other content creators are willing to do what he did with Iron Lung. So, but
I've I just feel like I don't know a whole bunch of indie games. I feel like I mean I might just don't really know them off the top of my head. That's my issue.
no, and that's
It's
totally
like
fair because I mean, a lot of them I wouldn't say they're niche, but like you just like you got to know kind of thing, but not in a bad way either. Like I don't think that's a thing to say like in a bad way really, but um trying to think.
because what would like indie would be what like the forest or and stuff like that or
Yeah, I would say so because indie games are typically ones that are like made by one to like a small company, I guess. Like nothing, not like opposite of Call of Duty, basically, or Bungie, like opposite of the bigger companies. So like
so
they're like
small companies.
independent, where they're not owned by like a mother company or something. Like I think Minecraft was once considered indie, but then Mojang bought it from Notch because of how successful it was becoming. I could be wrong
Hmm,
though.
okay. I'm trying to think of something here. Well, Overwatch is not an indie game, right?
No, that's
That's
owned by
Blizzard, right?
Blizzard, and I think Blizzard's technically under Activision, who are the people that do Call of Duty and stuff. I could be wrong again. Like
Okay.
I'm not knowledgeable on what companies like are owned by who and whatnot, but or who they work under. But it's along the lines of yeah, kind of like what we said. I would say Slenderman is an indie game still. I think because like I don't we haven't gotten a Slenderman game in years, or at least
Oh
not that
yeah,
I know of.
no. Well, okay. I don't know if this is a company or not, but I mean, it could become a company if someone out there is willing to do it. I mean, like a supernatural game would be fantastic for me personally. I mean, I would love nothing more but to have a supernatural game where I can like go and hunt monsters in like an open world format type game and you can you can just drive around in the Impala, and like each mission can like result in like a different ending or whatever, or based off of like how you act in the mission or whatever. You know what I mean? So like maybe something like that I could be okay with seeing. I mean, I don't know if that would classify under what we're talking about, or maybe it does, but I think that would be kind of a
Kind
cool
of,
idea.
I mean, kind of, because it's almost like the inverse of what you're saying. But yes, like, I do understand what you're saying though, because yeah,
Okay.
like, but and now that I've said it and put it out there though, Mark I think should be a part of a Slenderman sort of film or something because the original bombed. Like it was terrible. Like I heard Slenderman was only in the movie for like I don't even know how long. It was not that long though. It was like 5 minutes or something. Which
That's very short
in a Slenderman movie, like why would he not be the center of
tension.
everything? Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I heard he didn't have that much of a screen time, and I don't know if it's because they had a small budget or if they just suck at writing stuff. But yeah,
To be fair, the graphics in the game are very kind of very
but that's the point. It's indie. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very small, lesser known game. I mean, probably not as lesser known now because like Slenderman's like a legend now, and now I feel like Iron Lung will too because of how Mark made it so popular. Um, but yeah, I think he could possibly play a main character or just direct it even because that's the other great thing about what Mark did is he made the Iron Lung movie almost like spot on. Like compared to Five Nights at Freddy's, where like there's supposed to be doors and you know, um, like light buttons and stuff, like in the office,
Yeah.
and all we got
You
was
can't
kind of
use
like
too much power.
yeah. Whereas like in the movie, yeah, it was just really just a doorknob door and then a vent, but we didn't see vents till Five Nights at Freddy's 2, or at least we didn't see them in action till Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Not to say like there's anything wrong with crossing other parts of the franchise cuz like I mean the creator was the one that helped make it. Like he has overall creative say in everything, but compared to what Mark did where he like all he really did was just add more to the game rather than replace it with certain things. Like he made it pretty
Hmm.
much like replica scale of everything that we see in the game. And if you haven't watched his Iron Lung gameplay, I definitely recommend doing that for sure.
I have not watched it. No.
It's very slow, but it's very interesting, especially like because at one point Markiplier like starts role playing as if he's like actually the character. So like you
It's
know,
probably where he got the inspiration from.
oh yeah, no, I'm sure because like a lot of people were saying like as soon as he finished, because his reaction at the end of the game, everyone's like, and that's when he knew he needed to make a game or a movie out of the game. Like because yeah, his reaction almost kind of gives you that impression, like oh, that's when he thought of the idea of making the movie. But like that's not for certain, obviously. But like people make memes and jokes about that, and honestly, I can see it being the reality of it too. Um, but yeah, no, for me, yeah, SCP, Slenderman, I feel like is right up Mark's alley. I would say Five Nights at Freddy's, but because Scott Cawthon's kind of got his own image, and I'm sure Mark would have wanted to make it rated R, but Scott, knowing that he has probably a younger audience than most people when it comes to horror games, he probably wants to keep it
A little
not
bit PG.
yeah, but obviously break the limits a little bit, which they kind of did in this second one. Like they made it a lot more gorier and creepier, like, but they kept it like within the PG-13 range. So, but yeah, no, it's not impossible, but like to see Mark in a franchise that kind of grew his channel. Because, like, I grew up with Mark on Drunk Minecraft, but then after, like, not watching Minecraft for a while, he resurfaced on my, like, For You on if that's what he was even called on on YouTube at the time. When he started playing Five Nights at Freddy's, because Five Nights at Freddy's was getting all the huge craze, and I was getting obsessed with it at the time. And then I saw that he did a gameplay of it, and I was like, oh, I remember this guy from that Minecraft series I grew up with. And then that kind of led me into watching stuff like SCP and Slenderman. Like, he had a bunch of series that, like, slowly got me into the horror genre. Because, like, for people who've known me pretty much my whole life, know that I'm not a huge fan of scary things, but
Nope.
FNAF was, like, the start of it, basically. FNAF and Slenderman, I would say. Like, I think those two kind of, like, brought me into the horror genre a little bit more. But yeah, so that's the only reason why. I think I may have told you about this game, or maybe you already know about it, but like another one I thought would be kind of cool because it's very indie is Lethal Company. Have you heard of that game?
This sounds familiar. Let me look it up real quick.
I think, in fact, I know Fortnite did do a collab with them at one point.
Oh yeah, I've seen them before. I've never played it, but I've seen it. Yeah, like I've seen some YouTubers do like games off of them.
You should watch Mark's because he plays with Bob and Wade, and it's hilarious and fun.
Okay, I'll have to check it out because when I've seen them like I haven't watched their video, but I saw like the thumbnail pop up for it, and I was like, that looks stupid. I'm not clicking on that, but I might have to actually click on it now that I know what it is.
Yeah,
Because I
no,
thought it was
I
just some like goofy thumbnail, and I was like,
I actually just bought it on Steam the other night.
It kind of gives me like a little bit of Backrooms type thing. Is Backrooms like a indie game?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
In fact, I think the kid that made that game is was offered like a deal to make his game into a movie.
Imagine that. Imagine coming up with some random, like in your mind, a goofy, like, oh, this game's just for, kicks and stuff. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, you want to make a movie based off your video game? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what kind of drives me to do stuff like writing my own book or finally drawing and writing a comic. Like I wouldn't say I would ever be like the next like Marvel or anything, but like it would be kind of cool to have that be a possibility though.
I
Cause
mean, Invincible was kind of the same way, right?
um I don't know, cause I think Invincible's been around since the early, or not early, but like no, maybe early 2000s, yeah.
But like still, I mean, like it just came up with someone came up with an idea for something and people liked it so much to the point where it just got big. So I mean, like technically with that mind thought process, anything's really possible.
No, that's true. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, so like, it will take a while before, a producer just like finds like your work and is like, "Whoa, that would make a great show or a great movie or whatever." Like, personally, I'm in the mindset of like making a show for a lot of things, like even as like the biggest Spider-Man like shill, I think a live action show would be better than a movie trilogy for Spider-Man just because there's so many villains and so much you can do with that character, but you have to like shrink it all into like a 2 hour film, like
Hmm.
whereas like a show like each episode's like 45 minutes and there's like I don't know,
Eight
10, 15
episodes.
episodes, yeah, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's just so much opportunity there. And I mean obviously like they could like fail in some aspects, like in terms of like special effects and like writing yourself into a corner or something, but like anything is absolutely possible when it comes to like doing it right. And I think if Marvel plays their cards right, especially since like the rumor of like if Beyond the Spider-Verse fails, like they'll sell Spider-Man back to Disney or something along those lines, which kind of sucks because like you either ruin a possible perfect trilogy or you reunite Spider-Man with the MCU forever and then it's just set in stone. Like it's a double-edged sword cuz like either way there is a loss and or win, but yeah. But
How do you think they would make like if they made an indie game based off of um Backrooms? I don't know the whole like backstory on Backrooms. I don't know the whole logistics. I don't know. I just know YouTubers play it all the time. A lot of people bring it up as jokes all the time. Maybe I need to like watch or like someone play it in order to have a proper like hearsay on it, but
the only person that I know that played a ton of it was Vanos because he really liked the Backrooms for some reason. I never got into the Backrooms hype. I only really watched it because Vanos. But yeah, like I don't understand it fully either. Like I kind of get the basic grasp of it, but like yeah, no, it's a weird but potentially interesting concept that they could play off of. And I don't know what the kid who, made the game is thinking either, but like, I'm sure he's stoked to have like and actually I don't even think it was originally a game. It was like a viral video and then people made it into games. I think that's what it originally was, but um
it was Pixel Gun owned by Minecraft or was that
no, that was its
another
own
indie?
thing, yeah.
Imagine if they did like a because it had a pretty interesting story on the storyline. So like if because the Minecraft movie, yeah, I mean, admittedly is kind of, but that's because Jack Black was mostly in it. But admittedly, I mean, I think like they could easily do like a like that type of animation style or whatever of the storyline from that game. I mean, obviously, you and I played those games when we were kids, but like, I mean, still, I think it'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind that like and instead of it catering it to kids, cater it to more like young adults or even adults make it PG-13 or something. Like that would be kind
Hmm.
of funny. Just have it like blocky animated violence. Or if you want rated R, but like I don't think they would go that far.
No.
Um I mean personally that's what I wanted from Minecraft. Like I wanted Minecraft to be like the next Lord of the Rings where it's in its own world with its own creatures, its own threats, its own story. But instead we got another stupid Jumanji retell of like people going into another world. Like, bro, come on, stop it with that trope. That trope sucks. Like, especially when the
It only worked
world,
for one thing, yeah.
yeah, like especially when the world itself is fascinating its own. Like you have made up creatures like creepers and endermen and the warden, the warden's probably one of the most interesting pieces of lore and you're not willing to like go creepy and scary with that. Like, I mean, heck, I made a Minecraft horror video like way long ago. I'm willing to like re-download it and like upload it on my current channel just to do
Do
that.
it.
But because that was like one of my favorite videos to make, and you know, I want to get back into it at some point, but it's hard coordinating with like you and the other guys. Again, like we all have our own lives, our own schedules and stuff, so we can't always be online at the same time. Like maybe someday, but for the time being, like it's really just like a luck of the draw on having a good like session of gaming and stuff. And I mean, I'm figuring things out for myself if people probably didn't gather from my last stream that I did. It was only like 8 minutes, basically explaining what's going on. But anyway, I won't get into that. Um, but another indie game that Mark has actually played, and I think would be kind of interesting, is one called Observation Duty. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
So basically, picture FNAF, but it's only on the cameras. Like, the cameras are the main thing. And basically, what you do is you pick out the little, like, there's little paranormal things going on, whether it's an extra object was added in the camera, to there's a literal stalker monster thing. And you're basically supposed to uh, report that as like a problem, and then this agency or organization basically goes and hides it. And I don't know if it's the footage itself or if they're going in real time, like stopping those paranormal activities. And the guy you play as is just a security guard working for said agency. But it's like super interesting and if you have too many anomalies, that's when you lose the game. So it's basically like you have to have like good memory. It's like I Spy but scary. And I feel like that could be
Hmm.
an interesting concept.
Oh yeah, he's played a lot of random like horror games. He's played shoot, there's one that keeps popping up and going away. I don't know the name of it, so I can only describe these games. It's like um this was just goofy but funny. When you're the baby and you get chased around by grandma, or um you are the baby and you're chasing down grandma and you're torturing everything about grandma.
I think I weirdly remember that one. I just don't remember what it's called.
And then he's played another one. I just can't remember. My mind just keeps racing straight back to the forest because I don't know.
I
It's
mean, a
just
dad
it's a
trying to
game. It's a
find
game.
his son from a bunch of
Yeah.
cannibals on an island. I mean, that does sound kind of interesting. So I don't blame you for wanting something like that.
I don't wish anyone to have to try to save their kid from cannibals, but like I mean,
I mean, as a story though, like it does
you know,
sound
I know,
interesting
I know,
on
I know.
paper.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. Like as a movie and like something you'd go see, that'd be really cool. Speaking of like game movies, I'm excited for a Until Dawn movie again. I don't think it hit that well in theaters, but I liked it a lot. I thought it was really interesting.
I think a lot of people didn't like it just because it wasn't super close to the game. But
Yeah, it was like based off of either I think like if like a first mock-up or it was like a DLC of the like before what happens later on. But
oh, so the movie
I
takes place timeline
like a
wise before the game.
yeah that's what I've read up on when I was reading up about it. So they're saying that it's like based off of before the the game Until Dawn.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I have no idea. Like I only really watched Mark play that once and that was about it. I don't even think I
It's an
finished
interesting
watching it
game.
just cuz again like me being kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to like deeply gruesome stuff. I mean, I
Like
think I've
I've
watched
wa-
worse
sorry.
stuff from. No, you're good. But oh, you know what? I just thought of one, and it's like his one of his biggest theories or series. But go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say like I've played it and I've watched it. So like I played. Here's my thing. When I first played it, I played all the way up into the part where because you're supposed to try to keep everyone alive, and you can keep everyone alive. Like you can keep every character, but like sometimes they just die. Like do if you don't pick the right words to say or pick the right actions, people in the group die. But like one of the characters I didn't want to die died, and I literally paused the game, uninstalled it, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not finishing this. He died. I'm not doing this. And one day I said screw it, and I went back and I finished it. But like, yeah, that's all I want to say.
No, that's fair, honestly. Yeah, like that's one of the most frustrating things I find about the games with choices, like those Telltale games, because I always am afraid to make the wrong choice, because I know I will, and I'll end up paying for it in the future, and then I won't end up liking the result. So no, I definitely agree with you on that, because yeah, but the one I was thinking about, I didn't watch a ton of it, but I do remember it briefly, is a game called Amnesia, and he played a lot of that, and I think that was like his FNAF before FNAF, basically. So I think he could do a movie on that, Amnesia, or yeah, again, Slenderman. Just like a lot of the ones that he basically grew up playing and us watching. So like, I mean, that's obviously a given. But again, like since we're out of time actually. Um, just because he's done it once doesn't mean he'll do it again, and what I mean by that is he could totally just make his own project, which would actually be kind of cool, like to see an original, like nothing to do with Markiplier either. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind his idea of a darker side of him, Darkiplier, and honestly I wouldn't mind a movie like that at some point from him because he has done stuff like that in the past. But I would love to see like what he could do with concepts that he's grown familiar with, and that he could easily um just hit, like, I don't know, he's just such a creative person. I don't know how to put it into words other than like I want to see what he can do on his own. Like, I mean, he has done a lot on his own, again, like with Markiplier and stuff. But I want to see him do stuff with Mark Fishbach, which is his real name. So for
Hmm.
people who don't understand, um, but like I want to see um, that creativeness from him too. Like I wouldn't mind him doing more indie games, and that's probably just a good market in general because he proved that a content creator
Ooh.
like him with
Mhm.
no schooling for said things like acting and stuff. Like I know he had an acting coach for when he did his tour and stuff, but like to go in as the actor, as the director, and as the writer for his like first big project like that, or again, I shouldn't say big project because he also did In Space with Markiplier and all those other things. But like the fact that he proved that he could do something like that, like, is just astonishing on its own. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he means by like he's ready to do more, and I want to see what else he has to offer, honestly. So, but yeah. Do you have any more thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, there's one thing if Markiplier ever heard this, or if anyone ever, whatever. I would like for Markiplier to make his own horror game. Like come up with his own thing, come up with his own game, his own story off of anything, whether it's like taking certain parts or of other horror games that he's played in the past that he wants to incorporate into his new game, into his own personal one. I think it would be cool just to see like Markiplier's Markiplier's video game. I don't know what it would be called or what it would be, but like I think it would be cool to see that.
Yeah, no, that would actually be really cool. And that's actually a good idea. So, you know, you made a really sweet movie. I don't see why you can't, invest in making a really sweet game too. But that is all the time we have. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it as always. If you guys haven't already, please go check the Phantom Voyager on Twitch, and his YouTube channel is Griffin Shock, Griffin Shock. So go check out those two things out. If you guys haven't checked out the podcast channel yet, it's just the same as the episodes are named, the Sense of Humor podcast. This is our 73rd episode, which is kind of insane. We're on our way to the big 100. Yeah, and if we don't make it by then, because Travis, I don't know if you want to bring this up yet or not.
No, yeah, I can. It's not right now. I mean, it's very soon, but I only got a few more weeks to go for this podcast. No, I'm not gonna like be permanently gone. I'm just clearly moving to a whole new state. I'm moving to a whole new area. I'll be temporarily living with some family, so I won't like want to be using up all their power and all this stuff. So I won't have a setup or a system or and everything all ready to go until I get my own place. So
Yeah.
I'll just be temporarily gone for a little bit, but I'll be back. I know for a fact I'll be back. I just you gotta have a place, obviously, but
Yeah, and I mean, it'll stink to not, do a podcast every Saturday, but honestly, moving, that's exciting, bro, and I'm excited for you,
hmm
especially with all you got lined up. So, but yeah, and then I'm just Multimite here on Twitch mainly. Haven't really uploaded on my YouTube channel in a while, but if you guys want to go check that out and my Twitch as well. In fact, I think I upload more on my or not Twitch, sorry, TikTok. I feel like I upload more on my TikTok than I do my YouTube lately, but they're just tiny, funny clips here and there. But other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
peace.